who's into swearing?
Okay, so I wanted to redo Act 2 because my music choices are the best.
Okay. So this is Act 2 and 3?
Okay. So I think we should end Act 1 in pretty much 1937, 1939, but like a little tiny interlude in between to glue it together, saying how, you know, the 50s were prosperous and World War II was in the 40s, so that kind of kept the production base going. Our themes should be like victory and prosperity and growth in families and population, but the iron heart of the city had turned cold.
Wait, Jordan, I need to get your reaction.
The iron heart of the city had turned cold. Because Joliet's missing a part of itself. The steel mills had closed. So we should fade to black on a shot of an empty smokestacks as we give the viewer time to mourn the loss of the forgotten Joliet Ironworks. And then we should hand out tissues. And then Act 2, a city ablaze.
Whoa.
All right, this song is gonna play.
Wonderwall?
No, not
Buffalo
yet.
Springfield, baby.
Oh, good contemporary music.
Okay, why is it not playing?
I love
Oh,
this song.
is too quiet. This happens. So the narration is like, many of you remember the early 60s as a time of freedom and hope. A new generation of children were developing into teenagers. There was a young, new president of the White House. Joliet even had a successful ice cream shop thriving in the city. Then there's a Chuck Butel interview where he talks about good jobs in the city for families. And then another interview with Chuck where he mentions the names of some longtime family-owned businesses like Lieberman's Jewelry and Jacobs Chevrolet. And then we just like pan over, you know, like the newspaper ads at McDonald's and the drive-through theater. It goes, by all accounts, the 1960s were shaping up to be as peaceful and prosperous as the decade before it. And then that's when the music ends. And
Am I the only black
That's
person
one of
that
the best
song?
60s. I love that song.
I don't see that.
then the music ends there. And then they go, but there was tension bubbling underneath the surface. And we can like do a close-up on these kids because they might be blowing bubbles in their drinks. I don't know. Okay. And then this music starts to play very quietly. I don't know the songs. And then there's news bulletins of when Kennedy was shot. LBJ explained that we're in war in Vietnam, and Robert Kennedy has been shot. And then I didn't put it in there, I guess, but when Martin Luther King was assassinated. Those are actually from the Herald.
Yeah, I was really happy, not really sad.
Yeah.
Where's those tissues?
That's from the Herald too. Not the picture, but the headline. With rising unemployment, racially segregated neighborhoods, and a nation at unrest, Martin Luther King's assassination ignited a spark amongst the citizens of Joliet. On April 5th through 7th, 1968, that spark literally set the city ablaze. The like fire and siren noise in the background. And these are all from the Herald.
Well, you know, one of the pictures, if you guys had a chance to look through the pictures that I just posted yesterday, yeah, I don't know if that's the riots. It would make sense, but I'm not positive because he just called it fire. But it was 68, so it would make sense.
Not the riots.
It would make sense that it was the riots. It would make sense, yeah.
So then you see stuff like this. There's the interview with Chuck Butel of him explaining the night of the riot. I don't know how long that's going to take, but we should sandwich.
Yeah, he goes on and on and on
We should
about
just
his
get the key
dad.
points, but
Should
I
he
want
pick
it
up
to
the
be
phone?
Actually, I would like it to be actually a little bit longer because there's like a point in the music where I want us to end this
Okay.
one. And we should sandwich in between two slices of Chuck Butel, of Nancy Schultz Foods. Yates Center.
Okay, that's good.
For 3 days after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s death, the streets of Joliet were filled with protesters and police. The sounds of destruction could be heard from every angle. The night sky was lit up by burning buildings. A curfew was instilled. The historic bridges separating the east side of town from the west were raised. It was a weekend that would stay in Joliet's history for decades to come. With the economic downturn of the 1970s, so went the already unstable Joliet. The historic downtown suffered greatly as businesses and residents moved westward. And then another piece of Chuck Boutel talking about the building of the Jefferson Square Mall and the Louis Joliet Mall and branch banking, just explaining how everything's going westward. Mom and pop stores closed, not able to compete with larger chains. More and more industries began pulling out of Joliet. Not even the historic Rialto Theater was immune to the collapse of Joliet's economy. By 1983, Joliet had the nation's highest reported unemployment rate at 26%. This is exemplified in the story of a local plant announcing that they had 5 openings for full-time positions. Over 1,000 applicants waited in line to apply. Those are the applicants. And I'm going to show you where I want the music to end.
Is this
It gets like really complex right here, and that's where the people stand in line or
Oh, that's good.
goes, and then it kind of stops, okay? And then we just kind of fade it out. It's not that, I know it's not.
I'm depressed.
Good. It's not. Oh, thanks, Julie.
She's like, I'm not done.
You sound like two, right?
That's dramatic music for it.